good counterattack there by the Fusion. The Stars can answer that. There's a centering pass right out front. Even get all of that and try to lift it into the net. That is the line, the right center and field and laner, that have been the most effective today for the Stars. And I guess that you would expect that when you look at the point totals coming into this game. Just looking to regain control of the puck. And Adams able to clear it. Picked up off the So, with 6:30 to go, the Stars will go on their second power play of the hockey. Parker against the Gates. But so if there's been a difference in this game, I think it's the skating ability of that's 3 goals in the span of just under 4 minutes. That's going to get you 4 goals. You have to take it 50 at a time on a leadership and do something to change this momentum. They have a chance, but as you said, bringing references, that's what's taking in the net for the future. Then they're also going to get their opinions back. They're not going to want to give up odd-man rushes. Yeah, they play good team defense. Yeah, that was just a pinch by the in the second period. Ability, sending pass, couple opportunities that time. See what Blumquist was there. A couple rocks. Sent down low, backhand. .2 seconds remaining. Draw and get a shot on that. On the draw, Molly Wright. Up against Lily Middle. Stars being on the draw. They couldn't get off the shot. But they do get on the board. Goal by Avi Ward. 16-20.
I just got winked at by a
We'll see how big that goal was by Avi. All that being said, with the lead
100% of the folder there. Memorial basketball. That's going to help.
So it's probably small, right? Of course. Easily.
Now wait a second, it's see, the stars are getting outshot. Hudson in Old Abe. St. Croix Valley Fusion leading East Bay Stars by a score of 4-1.
Fusion got a Jenna Golden goal in the first, and then 3 in the second. 2 off the stick of Jenna Golden, 1 from Northern Kibble. Stars got a very important goal in the final minute. Just 39.9 seconds remaining. Bobby Willard knocked the puck in the net. So the Stars trail by a score of 4-1. Bob Bradley's gone right with you here. Down here. Producer, did I have a good down to all of these? So Willard, the best giving chase. Miller goes with toward the net. Puck battle behind the net. Hope for Ralston. Has it, tries to steal it back. Stars intercept. Rolled in by Gene Vogel. Comes deep. That line comes out from Gene. Kibble around the defender. Kibble! How on earth did Evie Pritzel keep that one out of the net? Boy, it looked like she was beat, but somehow recovered, dove on the ice, and denied. Kibble, who's just kind of looking around. What else I can do there? How much more you can do there? Get back to the defender. Oh, it seemed to get away from you. But that goal on the other side just too good. Off the draw. Sent in by Jenna Golden. Sent in, deflected wide. Line change Again, it's just like it was when it was 4 to 1. Stars will put out Rayner. The players who are capable of putting the other way. Use it. In the cycle. On the near side, Morgan Kill. Adams, as far as on one time. Strikes down the puck. Shoots just wide with traffic out front. In the middle, where's the zone? James Gordon. To the middle. Skate of Mario. Adams. Up top, in the middle, the shot kicked out of there. Then the rebound to Morgan Kill. Picked up now by the Fusion, skating 2-on-3. They're on the power play. Minute 5 remaining in that. Down deep is Jenna Volgren. Give and go that time. Stars take it away. Can't clear it down ice. Stars will get some penalty players out there. Jane Volgren leaves the zone. Throws it back. Nobody there. Stars pull it through. Here comes Pipeline. Using with Morgan Kibble. It's set up. Kibble steers it to the slot. Inside by the Stars. Good work from the point. Adams kept out of there. Then the deflection. That goes just wide. Jennifer pushed that one down. That pass goes wide, so it's icy on the but change for the Fusion. Stars looking to improve. Play right in front of us. It looked like the Fusion got tangled up with the skates of the Fusion player. The arm did not go up. Stars will skate out now. Blanket. knew this was going to be a tough one. But the Fusion get 5 goals. Support the goaltending of Caitlin Justice. This one is in the play. Well played hockey game. 17-5 So what this does is it moves the Fusion right up closer to the other team and gives them an inside track in the province.
That's fair.
All right, coming up next, the Masonville Dairy postgame show. Masonville Dairy, the fresh cheese goods made daily. Get cheese goods. MasonvilleDairy.com. You've been watching girls high school hockey on Western Sports Option. Yeah, we'll try to get Jane. Oh, Jane. Jane will be. Hey, Matt, could you send up Gene Volgren, please, so we can do a post-game interview? All right, thank you. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice job. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. Yep. Hello, Mike. Hey, Jane Goldred, can you come on up and talk to us up here? Can you come on up and do a post-game interview with us? Huh? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jane. I think Matt told her to come up, but thank you.
That's her.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been wonderful. Well, I'm thinking like not. It's like I knew it was a single-digit number.
Yeah.
I mean, she's scored, didn't she? Did us? She played well.
Sir Dasher looks so good. He's just standing there.
Yeah. Where's your other two?
This is where the game is at tonight at Memorial. Hello, everybody, and live from Hobbs Ice Arena, it's Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe boys hockey action. Today, the Memorial Old Abe take on the Hudson Raiders. For Memorial, this is a huge test, like it has been for years and years. Hudson, a dominant force once again in the conference. They've been doing it for 10-ish years now, and it has been an unstoppable freight train. Memorial will look to put a dent in it today. I'm Derek Montesano with your coverage of Old Abe boys hockey. Breaking down this matchup, you look at the Hudson Raiders, an undefeated team in the conference, though coming in on back-to-back losses, including a 9-0 loss to Gentry Academy, a Minnesota team, albeit a .500 Minnesota team, but still a Minnesota team for sure. But a 9-0 loss definitely going to sting you. And if the Old Abe's are going to want to take advantage, they've got home ice, and they've got a chance to take advantage of a Hudson team that had a little bit of a rough spot against Gentry Academy. Memorial coming into this one, riding off a 3-2 home win against the New Richmond Tigers on January 30th. A game that was originally on the 22nd, but got moved back due to the cold weather during that time. Memorial still able to take that win. Prior to that, they had lost 7-5 to the River Falls Wildcats at the Wildcats Center. So Memorial's been kind of on and off recently. They've been a lot more on than they were for the longest time. That 9-game losing streak definitely hurting their overall record and their playoff look right now. But all you can really do right now is look for some wins. And if you're Hudson, Memorial's going to come out firing on you. Memorial not afraid to throw the puck at the net. They usually lead in shots, especially recently. A lot of long-range efforts, a lot of flinging the puck at the net and hoping for rebounds, hoping for tips. That's how Memorial likes to play their hockey. They get it up to the points, and then launch in and hope for the rebound or the greasy goal, as they call it in hockey. You look on the statistical side, you can't ignore Luke Schemberger. He leads the team in total points on 17 this season, a lot of them being nice goals and assists, but mainly goals actually. He's been one of the top scorers on this team. And you look down the other way at the Hudson Raiders. They are led by Will Maurer, number 15 on their roster. Will Maurer is averaging 2.5 points per game and a goal per game. He is averaging at least a goal and roughly 2 assists in every single game this season. In fact, when his team has put the puck in the net, he has gotten a point in the game. The only one he hasn't was the Gentry Academy game not too long ago. That was the only game he had been shut down, but his entire team was in general. You look down their line, they also have 2 other players in 30-point land, one of them being Caden Spreeter. The junior forward has 36 points in this season. Memorial's going to just have to shut down the Hudson offense. That's all you can ask for. Hudson's been outscoring their opponents by a 62-11 margin in conference. It has been a domination of great proportions when it comes to scoring by the Hudson Raiders. You look at Memorial, they haven't been scoring a ton, usually hanging about 1.5 goals per game compared to Hudson's 4.84. if you just look at the analytical standpoint, Memorial huge underdogs coming into this game, and it's not really a close, not really much of a close competition. Memorial very much underdogs despite being third in the BRC. It's just so hard to catch the Hudson Raiders and slow them down in the slightest way. Even this Memorial team, when they went out to Hudson about a month and a half ago, they fell 4-0 at the Hudson Civic Center. So it's not like this is the first meeting between these teams. They met already. You can look at that game. You tend to look back at it as a coach, see what worked, see what didn't work, and for Hudson, a lot of things worked for them. Just a dominant game, and to be honest, I'm shocked it was only 4 they put up on them. This has been a series that has been dominated by the Hudson Raiders. It has been absolutely complete dominance is all I can really put it. All Hudson over the last couple of seasons. 4-0 earlier this year, and then 12-0 not too long ago, actually last season. In this home meeting, it was all Hudson dominating for 12 goals in that game, and then a 5-4 game, against them that same year in Hudson. So it's not like Memorial can't play a close game against these guys. It's not like Hudson is a sheer force, an unstoppable force at that. It is definitely a team that Memorial can beat. The question is, will they be able to find a way through this Hudson Raiders lineup? Well, teams getting ready to make their way back out on the ice. Band making their way up from their seats. We'll get set for the starting lineups and puck drop in just a few moments. As one last look through this Memorial team, it's one not really loaded with a lot of juniors, which is a bit uncommon for a lot of hockey rosters. Hockey rosters usually filled with junior players. This team, a lot more sophomores and a lot more seniors. As the Old A's, as you can see, making their way out onto the ice, rocking the white unis, their home white jerseys, the ones they've been wearing in every single Memorial cast of Old Abe hockey so far. Now we take a gander over on the other side, the Hudson Raiders rocking their dark blue, I'd argue it's a bit more navy jerseys today, with their standard bottom with a Hudson Shield logo and their socks in the same blue color. A little bit of an odd thing here. Hudson's actually lined up against the boards for introductions here. So unlike the Memorial team that's lined up right on the sideline, we see Hudson right there lined up against the boards. They jumped into it to get set. Well, we're about to go through the starting lineup, so I'll step aside. When I come back, it'll be puck drop time here on Old Abe TV.
And now, here are tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Hudson Raiders. At defense, a junior, number 6, Logan Descalcio. At defense, a senior, number 24, Spencer Bolts. At forward, a senior, number 5, Buchanan Brandon. At forward, a junior, number 15, Will Muller. At forward, a junior, number 22, Katie Sprinter. a senior, number 4, Tucker Osman. At defenseman, a junior, number 8, Carter Hayes. At forward, a sophomore, number 17, Peyton Hall. At forward, a junior, number 20, Luke Schellenberger. At forward, a junior, number 23, Wyatt Seymour. And between the points, a junior, number 35, Alan Madsen. The head coach for the Old Abe is Mr. Kevin. The officials for tonight's game are Ryan Gallo, Pascal Gant, and Carter Lowe. And now, to our America and those defending our freedom, we ask those worthy to stand, remove your hats, place your hands on your hearts for the playing of our national anthem by the Memorial High School Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Eric Dasher.
Well, here we go. Great rendition of the national anthem by the Memorial Pep Band as we get set for this meeting. Two top teams in the conference ready to square off against each other. Memorial will go from right to left across, whether it's your TV, laptop, whatever you're watching tonight's game on. And Hudson will go from left to right. Like I said, Hudson won the first matchup in commanding fashion, 4-0 between these two sides. Memorial looking to change the narrative in game number 2. We'll see Wyatt Seymour gets set for the opening draw. He's going to match up against Caden Spreiter for the Hudson Raiders. Spreiter, one of the top players on this Hudson roster, the 5'10 junior forward. Gets set. Seymour and Spreiter ready. Puck is dropped, controlled by the Old Abes, and we are underway here at Hobbs Ice Arena. Wyatt Seymour goes to chase after it, unable to win it, and Spreiter the other way. Spreiter with speed, leads it ahead, but Buchanan Franta, he gets blocked up against the boards by Hayes. In the corner, Spreiter. Hayes able to poke it free up the boards. Long shot his way, finds Franta right in front, he sends it out into the netting. Shot, by the way, taken by Spencer Boas on the way. Franta caught it, tried to turn, take the quick shot, but sent it in the wrong net. Just 30 seconds into this hockey game. As we'll see, Seymour takes the bulk of the face-offs here, but he loses this one. Boas will dump it into the far corner. Around the boards, here's Spreiter. Gets matched up, able to find Franta. And right up against the goal line. Abe's work it up into the slot. Boas will send it a drive, saved by Matson. And back around the board to the near side. Abe's unable to clear. Hudson's hemmed them in the zone. Here's Spreeter. Boas. Schemberger can't steal from Memorial. Now he's able to find Seymour, and they're able to clear on the help of Peyton Holes. And Memorial will opt for the line change. Hudson will do the exact same thing, dump it in deep, and we'll get some fresh legs out. Here's Carson Hallseth, who will, actually Carter Hallseth, yeah, Carson Hallseth, flicks it right into the Memorial bench right below. It'll be a face-off to the glove side of Madsen. As Ethan Beglinger sets up for Memorial, matched up against Henry Coleman for Hudson. Puck one behind the goal line for Keston Trotlian. Trotlian ahead. Up against the blue line. It's snuck free by Hudson. Here comes Coleman. The opposite way. Coleman loses it to Trotlian, and Keston Trotlian throws it ahead to Matthew Wonky. Wonky loses possession in the neutral zone to Brady Swanson. Swanson will fling it deep into the zone. They're bouncing in front of the net, and nearly a great scoring chance for Hudson, but cleared away. Halseth throws it in on goal, and it's gloved and smothered by Sam Cramber for Hudson. Cramber, the senior goalie, listed at 5'7", and is on the shorter side for goalies, but he is still a very good one. Also else, he's playing for a very good team this season. Hudson controls the draw here and quickly flicked out of the zone by Boas. Wyatt Turnquist into the corner. One free by the Abes is Lane Connor. Tries to pass it ahead to Colin Bill. Bill comes away with it. Bill up ice. Into the Hudson zone. Has it ripped away from him by Logan DeSteo. DeSteo trying to sneak through traffic. Has it whacked away from him. But unable to catch and clear it is Bill for Memorial. Bounce up the boards by Lounsbury. Drove in again by Billis, and Memorial having a hard time clearing the zone consistently, although this time they do clear, but it's an icing. Back into the Memorial zone they go. 14:05 still to go here in the first period, and the score is still 0 apiece. Seymour against Spreeter. Actually, Spreeter is going to get kicked from the draw here, and they're going to put Will Maurer in. Maurer, the top point getter on this Raiders roster, with 47 points to his name this season, an average of 2.5 per game. Abe's chip it out. Stretch pass to Peyton Holes. Holes gets spun out of the puck, and Eric Palm takes it for Hudson. Deep in the Hudson end. They're able to clear it, but the intended target of Spreeter is unable to be hit. In the Old Abe zone, Lossman searches, finds Carter Hayes. Hayes able to hit a stick of Luke Schemberger on the way down, and icing will be waved off, and the Abes get a change. Up Buchanan, Franta tries to get it out of the zone, but that's poked away. Halseth goes to chase. Unable to catch the Hudson defenseman. Here's Will Maurer. Maurer into the slot. A driving attempt, unable to come through for Spreeter. Delayed penalty. It's going to be a hooking coming up on the Old Abes here in a moment. Puck touched up by Keston Trotlian, and yep, it will be a hooking call on the Old Abes. They are going to take Keston Trotlian to the box for the hooking call. Not much you can say about that. Spreeter tried sneaking through him. You can't go stick. You can go stick to stick, but you can't pull afterwards. So Trotlian to serve the 2-minute penalty, and the Abes down a player. Wonky unable to clear right away. But after a few hack and whacks, puck stays right at the blue line and eventually will fall to Tucker Lossman, who will send it down for the Old Abes. Lewis will give it here for Henry Coleman. Coleman dancing through. Coleman into the corner. Sits Lossman down in the near corner. Seymour chips it up. Can Walkie win the race? He didn't have to, but it was completely whiffed. Another regroup attempt for the Raiders. Mater, Malray should say, tries to drive through into the front, and he could not put it through. And the puck is thrown. Peyton Hull's going to try to win the race here, and he does. Peyton Hulls will attempt to pin it. A smart play by the Old Apes to only send one guy forward there and just try to eat time. They've got a minute off the penalty. Here's Coleman. He tried to drive in. He's forced away. Back up to the point. Here's Eric Palm. Over to Brady Swanson. Back to Palm. Near side now. Back across. Swanson to drive. Big save. Rebound. They score. Off the rebound on the Swanson shot, and Henry Coleman taps it home, and the Hudson Raiders score on the power play. Well, no one said it was going to be easy for the Old Abes. Henry Coleman scores with 11:36 left in the first period. They now will trail 1-0. So a power play goal there for Coleman. And Hudson, who has dominated these first 5.5, have taken advantage for the first time this game. Caden Kruschke. Abe's able to get it out. But we all know what might be coming here for the Raiders. They're very quick with the puck, and they're able to dump it in off the stick of Coalassi. Here's the chip out by the Old Apes, and right at the blue line, unable to hold it out with Coalassi, actually. Right on the near side. Matched up with Ethan Beglinger right there, so it was hard to really keep yourself on. Beglinger, great asset on that second line. Is great offensive-minded player. Here's Hayes to the near side for Peyton Hulls. Hulls drives into the corner, gets run up against the wall, and here comes Hudson with a burst of speed across center. Buchanan Franta. He didn't quite get the help from Caden Spreeter, who did his best to get on sides, but he was just a little bit off. Second time this faceoff has happened in just a little bit of time. Lossman throws it up to Luke Schemberger. Schemberger to Seymour. Seymour couldn't get the shot away behind the net now. Seymour still looking for option, now gets contested, and Schemberger's going to be forced to come help. Schemberger across Hayes, a drive, and that's blocked and covered up by Cramber for Hudson. Abe's tried to move the puck there, get the Hudson players scrambling in the defensive zone since they haven't really been in it that much. But the hard part about getting consistent movement on a Hudson team is Hudson's a very fast team. And it's hard to get the gaps to open up long enough for the shots. Up the near wall, a drive in with speed by Wyatt Turnquist. Below the goal line, a battle for Ethan Lounsbury. Puck poked free though, and thrown ahead. A stretch pass to Callan Duffenbach. Duffenbach will dump it in for Lane Connor to go chase down for Memorial. Cleared out by Hudson, but not for very long. Colin Bill hands off to Wonky, but Wonky runs into a brick wall and Eric Palm and cannot pass. Palm loses the handle. Here come the Old Abe. A drive in, a shot, and he's denied. Ethan Beglinger was right there, and he could not. Now here come the Raiders with a burst of speed. Pat Carey up top, and Brady Swanson going to get a handle. Now here come the Abe. Halseth. Person Halseth drives in, tries to center to Wonky, and he got his stick lifted on his way through. Kruschke couldn't quite gain full control of it, and the puck thrown in. Cashatrali and nearly lost it to Coalassi there for Hudson. And Memorial will absolutely just launch it down the ice for the icing call. 8:56 left in the first period. Memorial trailed the Hudson Raiders 1-0. Face-off, glove side of Madsen. Puck's dropped. The ensuing scrum for it is taken by Memorial's Luke Schemberger up ice. Schemberger across the red line, throws it in on goal, and opting to just hold on to it, Sam Cramber. The hard part for Memorial is not a lot of offensive chances so far. Hudson's had dominated completely those first 5 minutes up to their first goal, but since then Memorial's began to get a little bit of traction going. Here's Carter Hayes. Loses the puck as he turned it over to Eric Palm. On the board, Brady Swanson tried to cut him away with it for Hudson. Now 2 whiffs from Memorial, and Coalassi can't break in consistently. Here's a swing and a miss from Brady Swanson, but still Hudson keeps it. A drive, a chance for Coleman, doesn't get through. On the near boards, Lossman comes away with it. Lossman trying to get some help from Seymour, and it's Hayes who gets it to Peyton Holes. Peyton Holes is a delayed penalty on Hudson, and this icing is going to get it called. See what we're going to get. We're going to get another hooking in this game, but this one's going to go against the Raiders. See, they are going to get, looks like Henry Coleman. So Henry Coleman goes to the box, and the Abe's a chance to get themselves right back level with Hudson. Puck is dropped, one right back to Kruschke. Kruschke slides it over to Trottley and back to Kruschke. Kruschke's shot, and that one's blocked in the lane by Spreeter. Back up to Trottley, a drive. And that one doesn't hit the net. On the near wall. Near wall, puck does not squirm out, held in by Wonky. Kruschke, Lossman trying to sneak it through. Hudson able to clear it out of the slot. Trottley shot through traffic, doesn't get through. And not fully cleared. Trottley once again holds. Kruschke at the line, he can't keep it in though. And the Abe's forced to reset. Carson Halseth will opt to dump it in. 45 seconds gone on the Old Abe man advantage. Hudson, and that puck is thrown deep by Spencer Boas for them. On Memorial, looking for some options. Now Schemberger ahead to Peyton Holes. Peyton Holes tries to toe drag through 2 players. Schemberger on the ensuing clearance, unable to hold it. Goes D to Hayes. Back to Schemberger. Schemberger tries to cross ice pass, and that's deflected. Memorial having a hard time even getting through the neutral zone right now. Hayes breaks in. Wyatt Seymour down low. Puck immediately rung up the boards by Eric Palm and all the way down. Down to 20 seconds left on the man advantage, and Memorial haven't really gotten any shots away. Schemberger, full speed ahead. He goes into a triple team and loses it. Lost it to Jack Scar for Hudson, and Hudson completely shuts them down. Short-handed, Hudson Great defense there, not letting Memorial get much going. That being said, behind the net, Colin Bill. Bill will cycle it back down low, back to Bill. Bill couldn't sneak it through the traffic, and now here come the Raiders with some speed. Logan DeSteo, across ice feed, they score. Buchanan Franta makes it 2 for the Hudson Raiders. Franta caught Madsen in an awkward spot on the cross crease feed, and Memorial trail by 2. Well, not much you can argue from Madsen there. Cross ice pass, and Franta made nice work of it, not being afraid to top shelf it and putting it in. This is what good teams do. They'll score on you quick, and they won't give the game back. Franta pass it to the slot. Now a drive in from DeSteo doesn't go. DeSteo keeps it in the zone. Spreeter gives it away, and Wonky tries to pass it ahead to Halseth. Halseth, no offsides called here as he was able to get it across, but the puck is immediately cleared out by Buchanan Franta, who dumps it into the Memorial end. Lossman gets tripped down the ice. No call. Now a shot in front nearly goes in from Coleman. Coleman looking for his second of the game. Here is Coleman. Coleman in front. A shot nearly went in. Eric Palm. It snuck underneath the stick of Brady Swanson right to Palm. And Palm just missed over the net. Net's off. That's the reason for that whistle. But still, they need to find a way to muster up a little bit more offense if they're going to want to compete in this game. Here's a chance, though, right in front. A spinning shot from Coleman doesn't go. Rebound is squirmed to the far boards, and Luke Schemberger able to get it out. Schemberger to Halls. Halls driving in, can't sneak through. Now Schemberger's attempt get by the stick, and the puck is cleared. Icing will most likely get waved off here, and it will, as Castor Trotlian matching up against Jack Starr. Trotlian up to Luke Schemberger, to Kruschke in the middle. Kruschke flings it ahead and iced it. Looked more accidental than anything, but he will make his way off for the line change. Remember, line changes on icing still allowed here at the high school level. In fact, the hugest differences for these guys moving from Bantams up to high school is probably the increase in period time from 15 to 17, and the power play penalty kill, the special team situation. Here's a shot from the side of the net by Lounsbury, doesn't go. Nearly passed in front by Pat Carey. Around the near board. Can the Aves clear? They do so successfully. Thrown ahead, and DeSteo cannot quite hit the target with his hand, as he will ice it, and the Aves get some offensive zone time, something they have been missing a lot this game. That's the thing to the Old A's. They may not score a ton, but they get the possession of the puck in the offensive zone for a lot of the game. And that's the reason they were able to score 5 on River Falls. Problem was they gave up 7 in that game. Lossman can't sneak by. Could not sneak by Sprider, and Hudson in control now. Up against the side of the net. Looking and surveying is Franta. Out front. Bulls. Now up top. Across the Bulls. Oh, as the shot is tipped in front. And unable for Franta to get his second right there on that deflection. Now we're gonna get a penalty behind the play on Lossman. Tyler Lossman gonna get called for that slash. So the captain for the Old A's will go to the box. And this will be the Raiders' second power play of this game. They were successful on their first. The question is, can they make it 3-0 here before the end of one? Puck is dropped and the A's take control of it. Trotlian slams up the board but not cleared. Eric Palm holds. Now try been nearly caught by Brady Swanson. That would have been a catch and shoot goal potentially. Hudson began to work it across the Wyatt Turnquist. Up top, here's DeSteo. Over to Eric Palm. Palm gets matched by Schemberger, but he's able to keep it in. Out in front and unable to hit Turnquist. But Turnquist still gets it. Into the low corner for Colassi. Lassie to Turnquist. Turnquist in front to Steo. Steo is shot. That one's blocked in front. And Schemberger got it. Luke Schemberger will opt to fling it down into the Raider end, and we'll get a fresh set of penalty killers out there. Below the goal, and the Raiders will build up some steam. Here's Will Maurer. Got to be scared of him. Maurer unable to fully get through Hayes, but he keeps it in. Over to Coleman. Coleman. Dump off to Maurer. Maurer shot at the post. Rebound. A hack and whack in front. The shot is covered up. A hack and whack attempt by Spreetzer to try to score that. But he's able to, Madsen able to hold on in front. 45 seconds left on the penalty lossman. With 1:36 left in the period, Abe's down by 2. Cole Ainman will launch it down for the Abes. And we'll see what the Raiders can cook up with 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Across center, Coleman. Here's Bullis. Bullis below the goal line. Tries to get it back up on the near point. It's stolen away Wyatt Seymour. But Wyatt Seymour unable to keep control. Breaker back in. He gets rocked by Hayes. And the puck is thrown down by Ainman, and they will get the change. 53 seconds left in this period. Hayes back to full strength though. And Hudson's not quite gonna like this as Trotlian was there. Here's Pat Carey. Keeps it below the goal line, and Coleman bumps into Trotlian, and Trotlian nudges the net off its pegs. 36 seconds left in the first period. Raiders 2 and the Abes 0. I guess dropped a shot in, and Ethan Lounsbury's effort does not go. Around in the near corner. Unable to be cleared by the Abes, held in by Scar, and now right in front. A hack attempt by Carey doesn't go. Now another shot from Lounsbury can't fall. And Schemberger will tap it to Halls. 10 seconds left in the period. Hudson's got time for maybe one more attack, and this one's flung in. And now an awkward angled shot from Wyatt Turnquist, the sophomore. Sends it out with 1.8 left in this first period. And more likely this face-off is going to be for statistical purposes rather than anything. As Wyatt Seymour matches up. Puck is dropped. Lossman taps it ahead. It's knocked down by Coleman. And that is the end of period number 1. The Old Abes trail the Hudson Raiders by a score of 2-0. And as far as Hudson's concerned, this is where they'd like to be in complete control offensively. Got a few goals to fall for them in the first. Now, the question will be on the other end, can the Abes muster up the offense and get some more to get Hudson 2, Memorial nothing. Back after the first intermission here on Old Abe TV.
Is everyone ready? We have 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go!
Two nothing. Hudson leading Eau Claire Memorial. Mike and I will step aside for an extended break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for period number 2. You are watching Boys High School Hockey.
Gather back around, everybody. Second period of Memorial boys hockey action. Just moments away. Memorial trail the Hudson Raiders by a score of 2-0. One of those coming on a Hudson power play. And for Memorial, the simple way to put it is this is a repeat of what happened in Hudson. It was all Hudson pretty much throughout that game. The question will be, that's still looming, can the Apes stop the Hudson run that has been going for now 3 straight games between these two teams, where Memorial is yet to score a goal against Hudson over the span of now 7 periods. It's albeit hard to score against this team, but over their last 7 periods, they've been outscored now 18-0, including a 12-0 thumping here at Hobbs Ice Arena last season. Again, still 2 periods left to be played in this game. Anything can happen in a game of hockey, especially with Memorial. You never know what might happen for them. Well, team's about ready to, well, they're about to get ready here to take the ice. The band is set to begin there on Memorial playing, and we will be set for period number 2. Teams will flip sides as per usual here in hockey. And a little bit of dramatic build-up from the band. Here come the Hudson Raiders out onto the ice. You'll begin to see them at the bottom of your screen there. And here come the Old A's. And here come the Old A's, led out by Evan Madsen. And here come your Fighting Apes out for period number 2. Now here's what you can gain from that first period if you're Memorial. You kind of understand what Hudson's about. They're all about offense. Now how do you match an all-out offense? Well, you got to play solid defense and use the counterattack that's built from the defensive play to build something up. Well, here we go, period number 2, set to get going. Schemberger matches up against Spreeter. Puck is drop on. Memorial still going on in the background, but the game has begun. And the puck is all the way on the far side there, and on Memorial has finally stopped as Hudson clear the zone. Schemberger gets matched up against Spreeter, and Spreeter able to rip it 3, but he turns it over to Peyton Hulse. The breakthrough, a drive, and a glove save by Cranber. But we know for sure the glove of Cranber is absolutely elite. He's used it pretty much every single save he's had to make today has been middle glove side from his blocker side going across his body. Puck is dropped, and the A's come away with it. Here's Wenke out of the zone. Glossman will fling it in, and the puck is once again gloved and held onto by Cranber. By the way, Wenke just now learned in the most efficient way possible that it's not pronounced wonky. I learned from my mom, who found out from the mother of Wes Virgus on the roster that it's pronounced Wenke. I know, super efficient method to figuring out to getting the pronunciation correct. Anyway, puck is dropped, and around the boards we go, and out of the zone for the Hudson Raiders, cleared out by Brady Swanson. Now here's a takeaway in the neutral zone. Caden Spreeter tried to puck it free. Now out in front, here Spreeter gets double teamed, and Halseth and Lossman able to poke it away. Wanky cannot clear the zone, held in by Buchanan Franta. Abe's unable to clear fully. Spreeter holds the line. Up against the near boards, it's hard for me to see. There's like 5 cameras in the way over there. Delayed offsides as that puck was thrown in, and Tucker Lossman gets across the red and dumps it in to the opposite zone. Quick speed up the ice for Coleman. Coleman runs into a wall, gets a little help from Coalassi. Colin Bill the clearance. Up ahead, it looks like it might have hit the body of someone on the way through. Lane Connor tried to chase it down. Now Colin Bill can't hold the line. A burst of speed coming through for Coleman. Coleman, he gets banged up against the boards by Trotlian. Behind the net, it's Coalassi. Over to Coleman. He gets dragged down by Trotlian. Kruschke. Out in front, Lassie could not finish it off. And then a drive from Kellen Duffenbach straight into the Hudson bench. That'll for sure stay in the Memorial zone on the near side for the face-off. Memorial seemed to get hemmed in their zone for a little while consistently of 2-3 minutes where they're unable to consistently clear, and it's happening over and over again. Puck nearly turned over at the top of the slot by Hulse, but now it's turned over as DeSteo throws it in. Hulse tipped out by Wyatt Seymour, but Hudson once again right back into the zone. Lounsbury. This one taken by Memorial. They got Seymour out in front as it's stolen away by DeSteo. Now Ainman pins a player up against the boards right in front of the student section. Puck tipped in by Luke Schemberger right in front of his own bench. And Hudson forced to retreat. Wyatt Turnquist turns it over. Here's Peyton Hulse into the corner. Matthew Wanky. He gets double teamed, and DeSteo pokes it up to Bullis. Bullis, the captain, able to clear it. But Memorial in control. Inman across the red and dumped in. Glove down, man. Cranber loves to use that glove of his no matter what. It seems like here's Beglinger. Near side Lossman. Over to Carter Hayes. Hayes poked it away from Franta, but then gave it to Spreeter. And now in the Memorial quarter, spin around attempt. Nothing for Maurer. Up top, puck stolen away by Halseth. Halseth down the near side. Erson Halseth looking, trying to center for Wonky. And he has a collision in the corner. Now down, Maurer will chase after it. He's unable to win the foot race to the puck as it sneaks just across. It'll be an icing. 12:45 left in the second period. This game can take as much time as it wants. I have a hockey practice scheduled over in the Hughes rink here at Hobbs Ice Arena at 9 o'clock, and I don't want my team to have an excuse for why I could have attended that. Don't worry, we've still got plenty of time in the second and an entire third period ahead. Duffenbach unable to gain control. Eric Palm. Palm to the near side. Franta couldn't get a hand on it. Carter Hayes takes control, but Hudson always relentless. Gets it in deep. Now Lossman a swing and a miss, and that was nearly dangerous on the side of the net. Hayes given away to Spreeter. Memorial steals it right back though. Here's Duffenbach, who will opt to dump it into the zone. Hayes pins a player up against the boards. Colin Bill goes after it on the near side, but he's able to keep it in for Memorial. Now Kruschke gains control at the red line and will slap it deep. Cross ice pass to Buchanan Franta. Franta will have to dump it in. Spreetzer. Up top, Boas. Boas runs into Schemberger, and Caden Kruschke takes control. Kruschke, ahead hold. Schemberger, tic-tac-toe, passing Seymour, a shot that hit a body. Seymour in the corner with Halls up to Caden Kruschke, whose drive was sent wide. And Hudson able to get out. Out into no man's land. Caden Kruschke there. Tips off the stick of Halls up to Luke Schemberger. Can Schemberger sneak through Boas? He'll opt to backhand it in below the goal line. 11 minutes gone here. It's 2-0 Raiders. Chipped out by Hudson. McCall Inman will send it right back in for Memorial. Wanky. Eddie Wanky. Up top. Hayes a shot. And that went wide. Miles Olson out there to poke it deep. Now on the far side, Halseth's able to hold it, but this puck is going to bounce off the glass and into the netting. I think this faceoff is going to come out of the zone. We will see. I could be wrong, though, and I most definitely am wrong. That faceoff will be down in the Hudson zone still. 10:25 left, second period. It's Hudson 2, Memorial nothing. Schemberger off the draw. Stolen away by Wyatt Turnquist, and now here come Hudson with some speed the other way. A whiffed attempt by Pat Carey as he tried to drive into the slot. Now unable to gain a hold of it was Logan Mooney, who's in for Hudson now. Here's Schemberger, whose pass hit a skate, but Miles Olson up to Schemberger, and the puck is into the Hudson zone, and Eric Palm. Now Turnquist. Over to Mooney. Mooney giving away. Hainman up to Halseth. Carson Halseth chips it out. And here come the Abes. Schemberger with speed. Schemberger's drive, pad save by that minor Cramber. And now Hudson will try to counter, but it's thwarted by Tucker Lossman. Hayes surveys and goes to Lossman. Lossman slams it right into Pat Carey. And Hudson a chance they can clear, but they cannot. Halseth gets pushed into the boards and coughs up the puck. Now a dangerous play in front. Wanky takes control. Wanky a turnaround shot, and Halseth has it hop over his stick. That was a great chance to capitalize, but they're still alive. Puck in front. Halseth to Lossman. A shot through traffic. Save. Rebound. They score! It's Carson Halseth with the first goal of the game for the Old Abes on a nice rebound play, crashing the net, and puts it in for the Old Abes. It's a 2-1 hockey game, and Memorial have some newfound life. That's the type of goal my Bantam B coach is trying to hammer into my team. The rebound play that finds the back of the net. And for Halseth, he's brought the Old Abes to within one.
Scoring for the Islanders, number 37, Hudson Hudson. Assisted by number 11, Matthew Wanky, and number 4, Tucker Rossman.
So yeah, they're going to give assist to Wanky and Lossman. As Lossman turns the puck over, a shot in front is saved Buchanan Franta with the frantic attempt. 8:11 left here in the second period. By the way, looks like it's a patriotic out in the students section tonight. A lot of red, white, and blue across the way. Well, the Olympics right around the corner. I could see why this went up to the point. A shot through traffic gets blocked. Shot by Jack Starr, doesn't get through. Holds. Schemberger lays it off the skate, and White Seymour loses it. Burst of speed for Coleman. Coleman, toe drag through one, tried to catch a lucky break and find Lassie coming through, but he could not. Puck chipped back ahead for Hudson. Kruschke, Peyton Halls for Memorial. Luke Schemberger, nice stick handling move. Schemberger could not finish it off. Now the pass in front, couldn't find Lane Connor. He'll try again, but he gets bumped. Into the near corner. Near corner, and the puck will be chipped out by Hudson. Out into the neutral zone. Coleman has it blocked by Ainman on his attempted pass, and Kruschke go back to Ainman. And now, looks like there's a penalty. Is there a penalty here? I think one of the stripes may have called something here. I saw Madsen heading to the bench, and there's going to be an interference call on Brady Swanson for Hudson. So Memorial to the man advantage. Swanson commits the interference, and Memorial golden opportunity to capitalize and make a brand new hockey game. 7:09 left. Face off one. Here's a shot by Trotlian, and he could not finish it off. Here's Halseth, sweeping it up on Wanky. Halseth up front, Trotlian. A draw through traffic, doesn't get through. It went wide. Lossman trying to poke it in. He gets hit in the back, no call. And the puck ringed all the way up top, and Trotlian could not hold the line. Over to Hogan DeSteo. DeSteo flings it in, could not be controlled by Coleman, but I'm not sure he'll really mind that. It kills more time off the Memorial man advantage. Ashton Trotlian goes to Kruschke. Kruschke throws it into the zone. Into the corner. Stick whacking for it, and it's the Old Abe to come away with it. Up top to Schemberger. Schemberger to Hayes. Carter Hayes back to Schemberger. A drive, that's blocked. Blocked in front by Boas. And with 3 seconds left on the man advantage, Memorial once again forced to reset. Schemberger over to Peyton Hulls. Hulls sneaks in. Hulls spins around, look for Hayes, and he gave it away to Wyatt Turnquist. And Memorial running out of time on the power play, down to 8 seconds left, and this most likely the end of it. Raiders back to full strength as Schemberger runs into a player. Seymour, a drive, that was tipped by Schemberger, rebounds loose, and it was just wide. Oh, that was nearly the second. Colin Bill throws it in, the A's will opt for the line change. Worked forward, and Cashton Trotlian gathers. Puck chipped out. And sent over Carter Hayes to Trotlian. Sent back into the Hudson end. More beginning to find some life as Lane Connor went to chase after it. Puck chipped out, Buchanan Franta ahead for Spritzer. Spritzer shot, and that's sticked away by Evan Madsen. with 4:18 left in the second period. Abe's looking to upset the undefeated #1 team in the Big Rivers Conference in the Hudson Raiders. The team that's been wreaking havoc on everyone in the conference. There is no favorites for Hudson. No one they're keeping games close with. They've been dominating everyone and have only given up now 12 goals all conference. Here's a drive in, sent just wide. Puck unable to be cleared though. Here's Beglinger who will dump it in. Wanky to go chase it for Memorial. Up against the board, Wanky comes away with it. Oh, hack and whack. There's 3 players that tried to take it away from Spreether. No one cared. And now here's a toe drag shot from Marr. You don't want Mayer, like, you can't want to give him that. You don't want to give him that shot too many times. Now here's a breakaway, a chance for Hudson. Hudson shot. Oh, what a save. What a save by Sam Cramber. I think he got a piece of that to keep that out. Halstead's breakaway denied. Now behind the net though, Schemberger, there's a player down in the corner, but play still runs as Halstead nearly put it in, and now Seymour topples over. It looks like, trying to see who he fell on top of there other than Cramber, and it looks to be Logan Desteso. And by the way, there was Spencer Bullis down in the corner during that entire play. He skates off under his own power and fairly quickly, although more of a glide. And you don't like to see that if you're Hudson. Hudson, though, able to clear the zone. Here's Cole Lassie. Lassie run into the board by Kruschke. Puck still alive, though, and Kruschke able to squirm it up to Hall, who tries to one-touch it to Seymour, who gets it blocked. Up the wall, Schemberger able to chip it out, but thrown right back in by Eric Palm. Trotlian, backhand pass to Kruschke. Kruschke misses an intended targeted Seymour. Trotlian tries to clear. He can't clear, but then Holmes catches a break. And now Wyatt Seymour, a on his knees poke check clearance. Puck dumped in. Getting Kruschke will fling it to the other side. Here's a drive from Ethan Lounsbury there. Play still on for Hudson, but they are unable to hold the zone. And Destero forced to case after it. Lane Connor has a stick lifted. And the puck is thrown in. I was mentioning things that are different between bands and peewees. Not bands and peewees, bands from high school. One of those being offsides as well. Delayed offsides are now the thing instead of the straight away. Destero's effort is cleared away. And the reset. There's Bullis again. He throws it over to Pat Carey, who will tip it in. As Hudson once again piling on the pressure. 90 seconds left here in the second period. Halseth can't chip it out. Trying to get some help from Cole Ainman. He gets it. Ainman chipped ahead. Couldn't win the foot race, though, against Wyatt Turnquist. Destero loses it. Now Ainman gets bumped on his way for the puck. Seth flings it, and Ainman plays it with a high. It will mean absolutely nothing as Hudson plays. And offsides, by the way. Offsides on Hudson. So, and that's going to be an all the way down. Offsides commit by Hudson. So Memorial, great offensive look. Now, if they can get some shots away before the end of the second period, there's no doubt they can score. Here, they haven't had a lot of chances, but they've had some good ones. Puck is dropped as Hudson comes away with it right away. Puck chipped up against the boards and just barely cleared out. Tucker Lossman, though, delivers it right back in. Down to 40 seconds left in the second period. Puck chipped ahead. It's stolen by Memorial. Seymour to Schemberger. Ripped away from them. Schemberger will send it in and whistle will stop play with 24 seconds left in this second period. Face off here in the neutral zone, right at center ice on the UWO Claire logo. And at the center of the ice. Seymour up against Spreeter. And Seymour's actually going to get kicked from the draw, so Luke Schemberger is going to have to come in to take it. Schemberger unable to win the draw for Memorial as the Raiders will go with it. Franta stretched past to Maurer. Maurer tried to center it back for Franta. 10 seconds left. Helseth with speed. Helseth a drive right into the breadbasket of Cranber. 8.3 left in the second period. Memorial's got time for maybe one more shot in them before they are forced to end off this game, this second period. Schemberger matching up against Coleman. Puck is dropped, and Hudson continues to win these defensive zone draws. Lossman holds it though, 1-0. No more shots will be taken. Little late backhand from Maurer will come to nothing. And we are through 2 periods of play. Memorial not out of this. They trail 2-1. Huge improvements there for the Old A's in the offensive zone from the first period to the second period. It showed they outscored the Hudson Raiders 1-0. A rarity for Hudson to just simply get outscored in a period. Even giving up goals is rare for this Raiders team in conference. Memorial's already delivered them some rare things today. 2-1 Raiders lead. Back with a third period after this here on Old Abe TV.
was real concerned that the first period we might have run it down. It's gonna
Gather back around. Period number 3 of Memorial Boys hockey action against the Hudson Raiders is a couple minutes away. Memorial only trail Hudson by a score of 2-1 in what was a much better period, especially on the offensive side of the puck for the Memorial Old Abes that second period. Especially compared to that first period. The first period, they were stymied for the majority of the game. For that first period, only getting about 2 shots away, and only one really being considered decent. Compared to that period where they were putting more shots on, they were creating more chances. It was a much better offensive period. And you look at the defensive side of the puck, didn't give up goals, actually outscored Hudson in a period, something they don't often see, are Hudson getting outscored in a single period. Well, team's about set for number 3, and unfortunately, when it comes to the third period, it also continues to mean no band appearance. They, for some reason, left after the first intermission today. Normally they stay through the second period, but no, they played on Memorial and then they left from there. So an odd situation for that. Even for the band, that, albeit they leave, but the fact that they left with 2 periods to go is one thing I especially don't like about this one. All right, final 17 minutes, and the Abes only trailing by a singular goal. The referees have made their way out of the ice, and here come your Old Abes. Now the question will be for this third period, compared to the first game, Memorial have home ice control. They grow up playing here at Hudson through Eau Claire Youth Hockey. They understand this ice. They know it. How will that play advantage in such a tight game against a strong Hudson Raiders team? 2-1 the score through 34. Here we go. Period number 3 is almost at the way. Linesman drops the puck, and we are underway. Memorial take control. Lossman up against the near boards, taken by Hudson the other way. Marr will dump it in deep into the zone, scooped up by Sprader. Right. Down low, Sprader gets run into by Lossman and cleared ahead. Peyton holds to Carter Hayes. Here's the breakaway chance for Luke Schemberger. Schemberger shot on the backhand, couldn't sneak it through. Not really much of a breakaway. He couldn't quite spring off his defender. put up a backhander, and Cranberg got all of it. A good chance from Schemberger, Hudson. I think if he had more space too, he'd be able to pull off a move or something. But in that situation, he was kind of just stuck in the backhand. Kruschke holds the line. Gets it into Wanke. Down low. Here's Beglinger. Up top, Trotlian back to Beglinger. Up top, Kolseth loses it, and it's a foot race to the puck between Kruschke and Coleman. Below the goal line, Trotlian to Kruschke. And Matthew Wanke will one-tap it to Beglinger. Wanke across the red. Could not keep control. And here comes Eric Paul. He gets his stick taken by Wanke. Now a lot of neutral zone turnovers here. So here come the Raiders into the zone with Coalassi. Back out to Ethan Lounsbury. Oriole able to take advantage behind the net. Beglinger bounce up to Halseth. But Hudson back in with Bullis. Bullis will go below the goal line, but he is poked away by Cashton Trotlian. And can the A's successfully clear the zone? They barely do. Off of the stick of Kellen Duffenbach. And then right after, a puck rocketed down. No icing will be called. Near side, puck squirms into the slot, but nobody there for Memorial. It's just Bullis for Hudson. Now the burst of speed carry. Carry below the goal line to Lounsbury. Near side, 2-on-1 situation. Now Hudson gets some reinforcement. Barely held in by Carey. And back down low. Lounsbury couldn't match up against Andman and Miles Olson. Lane Connors comes away with it. Connor tried to stretch P for Duffenbach. And now Hudson pass in front and nearly for Wyatt Turnquist. Now flicked down deep by Kellen Duffenbach. He'll opt to get more of his guys off the ice. Lane Connor will stay out there for pressure. Schemberger will dump it in. It's scooped up by Disterio. On the near side, Schemberger tries to dance through, gets it to Hulls. And Hulls and Luke Schemberger run into two Hudson Raiders. Seymour loses it to Boas in the slot. But unable to clear successfully at Hudson. Now they do. Here's Franta. Franta with speed. Franta trying to dance through. Lossman shoves him aside, but he keeps control. Buchanan, Franta in front, hits a stick. Back outside, Downsbury. A shot hits a stick and nearly went to Sprater. Schemberger. Luke Schemberger clears. Memorial still chasing a goal. Schemberger drives it into the far corner. Tie up, taken by Hudson, but they turn it over. Oh, hack and whack up against the boards, and it's Memorial will throw it in off the stick of Matthew Wanke. And it'll bounce right to Cranber, who will secure it with his glove. 12:56 left in the third period. It's Hudson due and Memorial 1. And if we were to have running clock this entire time, I'd have enough time to make it over to a 9 o'clock hockey practice over at Hughes. I keep bringing that up just because my Phantom B team, my coach recently implemented a few practice policies that, apart from like school things and a few other reasons, you can't really miss. But this is a school thing, so I don't gotta really worry about it, but I can still. Looks like Trotlian got tripped into Madsen behind the play, but play continues, and Madsen looks to be fine. Center impede does not hit its intended target. Here's Coalassi. Puck is thrown out of the zone by a Hudson Raider. It'll be absolutely no icing, as it was a reverse icing in the sense that the Raiders did it. Wanke trying to stick handle through three guys, could not do so. Lane Connor. Carson Allseth couldn't pick it up from it. Up to the point. Ainman couldn't control the bouncing puck. And it'll go all the way back down. Ainman gets a little bit of pressure. We'll go to Allseth here, right in front of his own bench. Across and double bounce. And Kellen Duffenbach will go chase after it. Duffenbach. Hudson, a successful clearance, chasing after Pat Carey. Carey chasing after Olsen. Olsen spins out of it. Gets it up to Colin Bill. Offsides was delayed. Here comes Lounsbury. He gets bumped up against the student section by Ian. Olsen gets tripped down. No call. And he keeps going. Olsen gets it to Handman. Handman. Colin Bill. Bill with some speed. Bill drives wide. Bill looking for some support. Will throw it into the corner. And we'll let Wyatt Seymour chase it down. Lounsbury couldn't clear. Hayes a shot. That hit a stick on the way through the stick of Jack Scar for Hudson. 11:04 left to go. Memorial still chasing that ever important goal. And here's another hard thing about Hudson. Even if you do get one, most teams are only scoring one when it comes to conference play. Albeit most of those games are running 7-1, 8-1. But they're not letting teams score a ton on them. Here's a drive in. Swing and a miss from Marr. And Peyton Halls for Memorial with some speed. Halls, a shot, blocker to side by Cramber. Abe's still in the zone though. Here's a drive on the goal line by Wyatt Seymour. Goes behind the net. Gets rubbed against the ball, and they're going to call a penalty here on Hudson. They are going to get the drag down. I think they're going to get a cross check if I saw that signal correctly. So they're going to send Jack Scar to the box. Doesn't seem super pleased about it. It is a cross check on Scar. So 2-minute man advantage for the Old Abes, which they have about a 20% power play percentage so far. Up top, here's Schemberger. Over to Hulls. Hulls, he has it blocked away from him, but right to Luke Schemberger. Schemberger. Hudson in their in a diamond formation. And Carter Hayes putting all in. This could be dangerous the other way if Schemberger isn't careful. And Schemberger will take control. Goes over to Wyatt Seymour, and Seymour dumps it. Flung all the way down by Coalassi. It's a regroup situation. War Memorial in their own defensive end, about a minute off the man advantage. Peyton Hulls into the zone, just onside. Tries to bounce it back. He gave the puck away to Caden Spritzer. Aves get it right back in the neutral zone, though. Wyatt Seymour nearly lost his edge, but keeps on his feet. Hulls tries to match and Beglinger, and neither of them are able to stop Spritzer from throwing the puck. Time continues to never-endingly tick for the Old Abes. They're beginning to run out of time to get that big second goal to level things. This one cleared by Preston Smith for Hudson. And Memorial down to just 15 seconds on the man advantage. Trotlian throws it in. Kruschke able to hold the line on the near sideline. Wankett. Kruschke over to Trotlian. His shot tipped in front, just wide from Lossman. And it's full strength for Hudson. They survive the penalty kill. Now here's a chance the other way. A shot, save, rebound, save. The puck is finally gathered by Allset. Oh, beautiful chance by Will Bauer to put in what could have been likely the dagger for 8:14 left to go, though, and time of an essence for Memorial. Halfway through this period, still 2-1 game. Here's a shot right off the face-off from Brady Swanson. And right back out of the zone. Now Swanson able to tap it in. Chasing it down is Coleman. He trips up Olsen. Swanson matched up with Amon and Olsen. Gets it up to the top of the plate, a drive, and right into the chest of Madsen. Save on the shot by Coalassi. And here's the thing. The score isn't the high-scoring, high-flying offense Hudson normally has. They're averaging nearly 5 goals per game. Memorial held them to just 2 so far, and both of them coming in the first period. There's a nice hit from Amon playing to the boards. Here, and Amon does it again. Both of them on Coalassi. Here's Halseth. Carson Halseth, he had the lone goal so far for Memorial. Halseth, Kawangi, a drive. Where's the puck? Play blown dead. It didn't look like Cranber knew where the puck was. It was underneath his pad. He did the frantic look behind him and pray, and he got away there unscathed. Looks like the A now with an offensive zone face-off have their first line guys out there looking to make something happen right now. Glossman shot hits off the skate of Schemberger, and Hudson able to clear it. Tried to hit Maurer, but Glossman the steal. Glossman lost the puck on the near boards. It's stolen away on the centering feed by Buchanan Franta. DeSterio will dump it in. Carter Hayes surveys. Now sends it. Lane Connor able to tip it in deep. Connor bumps into Bullis. Bullis gets a little bit of help from his teammates, and they are unable to clear the zone. Held in by Carter Hayes. Hayes tips it. A slap shot from Bill. Sent over the bar. Rebound squirts out. Kellen Duffenbach cannot catch Bullis. And this one cleared up for Maurer. Ought to be afraid of Maurer driving in. Maurer shot and a glove save by Madsen. Great reflexes from Evan Madsen to keep the puck away from the goal. And with how crucial the next goal is in this game, you don't know how big that save is for keeping Memorial in it with 6 minutes left. Up top, puck is thrown in by Palm. Round behind the net. Gathered up by Wyatt Turnquist, but thrown away by Matthew Wonky. Wonky the other way. Wonky slams it around the boards. Halseth will jump in front of his defender, but it'll take Bedlinger to keep it deep. Raiders looking for the clearance. So far struggling to get it. Up against the boards, Cashton Trotlian holds the line. Near side now. Puck chipped away and all the way down on net, so no icing at all. Given away in the neutral zone. Here comes Henry Coleman. Coleman runs into a triple team. Puck lost to the slot, though, and nearly Swanson chance, and now an awkward angle shot is right into Evan Madsen. Time beginning to become very little for the Old Abes. They've run objectively into a brick wall in this Hudson Raiders team. They've shut them down so far. And Memorial just unable to really get the necessary second goal. Schemberger, he's got time. He's going for a skate, and he'll throw it into the corner. Berger tries to set her, but intercepted by Swanson. Here comes Hudson. Swanson goes wide. Tried to feed to Coleman, could not, but gets a little help. Around the net, back up top, Lassie. His shot tipped in traffic. Even Lassie tries to knock it down. And he actually got control of it, but threw it to Carter Hayes. Schemberger gets a tip on that puck as it'll roll down on net. And the nearboards, Beglinger couldn't take it, but Ainman can. Over to the far side, Wanke. Wanke will launch it. Down to 4 minutes left. Old Abe still chasing. Ainman a block. Ainman in the slot shot. Oh, tried to get the backhand, couldn't sneak it over the shoulder blade of the netminder Cranber. Now Hudson the other way, a centering feed off the mark from Sprinter. Now here comes Wonky the other way. Wonky sneaks through. He gets hooked. It's hooked away penalty. They're going to get that all day long. They're actually going to call the slash instead. Wonky gives a little stick tap. He knows. So yeah, Eric Palm to the box. 3:42, and we'll see if Kevin Anger, head coach of Memorial, opts to use his timeout now, because there's always that idea of pulling early with the power play, go up 6-on-4, albeit at a high school level, extremely risky play, but you're playing the #1 team in the conference, you got nothing to lose. He will not. Here's a shot, and that's shoulder to side. Memorial on the power play. They need to take good use of it. Wyatt Seymour spinning around on his defender. He gets brought to the ice. Up top, Schemberger. His drive right into the chest. It's nipped through. Puck's loose. And they wave no goal. The puck looked to be loose. Everybody hacked for it. And it's underneath Cranber at the end of it. So close for Memorial. They're beginning to create their chances right when it mattered. 3 minutes left, trailing by 1. Hudson forgot to send out a player there, so Jack Scar a little bit late to the party. Memorial with the draw. Schemberger. Over. Drive from Hall. Safe. Rebound. Not in. The pack and whack for it. And it stays out once again. Sam Cranber is not letting anything in right now for the Old Abes. He has it on absolute lockdown. Memorial continue to win these draws, though. Schemberger will go to Hayes on the near side. Over to Hulls. Schemberger runs up a clapper, and he swung and whiffed. And the puck cleared. This could be a foot race here between him and Maurer. Schemberger loses it to Maurer, runs himself into the boards. And Mauer's fine to take plenty of time off the clock. He'll work it back. And this is not what you wanted if you're the Old Abe power play unit. Finally, Hudson throws it, but they continue to maintain his Strider. It's in the feet of Peyton Halls. He doesn't know where it is. And Wyatt Seymour there to help clean it up. Down to 40 seconds left on the man advantage. Halseth loses it, and here comes Sprinter. After he couldn't get it through. And now can Memorial finally break into the zone. Halseth drives wide. Tries to go back up top. They will do so. Up to Cashton Trotlian. Trotlian through traffic got tipped away. Kruschke unable to one-hand hold. And they will dump it in. Everyone will tag up to negate the offsides, but the problem is that is the end of Memorial Man Advantage. They're down to 1:40, and you really start to worry about time. Time is of everything right now. You start to look at the Memorial net if they make the pull of Evan Madsen. On the far side, Seymour. Wonky. Seymour. Up to Kruschke. Spin around from Wyatt Seymour. Break it through. And here comes Hudson. A chance on the empty net. And this one is likely salted away. Madsen got pulled without me even realizing. And Henry Coleman, his second of the game, likely finishes off the Memorial Old Abes. It's 3-1 with 1:10 left in this one. Nightmare situation is Kevin Anger will opt to use his timeout now. He's got to find a way to put 2 goals in the span of 70 seconds against the best team in the conference that as of right now outscored their opponents 65-12 in conference. And have been extremely dominant all year, 15-4 overall, and very much on their way to making it 16-4 with practically no resistance from these teams. But we'll see what Kevin Anger can draw up here to try to pull one back quickly, if possible. At the very least, get one back. Ultimately, you're going to want the 2, force the overtime, but as of right now, seems a little bit out of reach for Memorial. 3-1. Hudson lead after that empty net goal from Henry Coleman to make it his second of the game. And you wonder how important those saves by Cramber down the other way were for this team. All right, minute 10. Minute 10 left here in this one. As puck is dropped and back underway. Madsen remains in his net for now. Peyton Holes punches it in deep as we enter the final minute. Here come the Raiders with a burst of speed. Franta to the goal, centering feet, save made on there. Puck is chipped but not cleared. Buchanan, Franta holds it now. Mallory, side angle effort, doesn't fall. Down to 30 seconds. Puck dumped all the way in and gloved by Madsen. Gloved like an infielder there for Madsen, fielding a nice ground ball. Hard to argue what the Abes were able to pull off in this game. They kept it close with the number 1 team. And this is one that if they could just find a way to put a few more of theirs in, they would be better off. As Franta's shot is saved by Madsen. Rebound goes back to Franta. His effort blocker. Down to 10 seconds left. Tucker Lossman out to Luke Schemberger. To Tucker Lossman down to 5. Lossman the other way. Lossman takes a shot. It'll be gloved with 1.2 seconds left. And these final moments will be played for statistical purposes as Sam Cramber made that stop. And it's pretty much impossible for the Abes to score 2 goals in pretty much less than a second. The puck will be dropped to the glove side. Is dropped. The ball's over sound. And that's the game. The Hudson Raiders defeat the Memorial Old Abes by a final score of 3-1. For the Memorial, not much you really want to hang your head about. They hung with the number 1 team in the conference, a high-scoring team, no matter who they play. Held them to 2 goals and an empty netter in this one. Held them under their average goals of 5. And well, for the Old Abes, this shows they're capable of great things this year as far as the remainder of the season goes. So what's next for the Old Abes hockey? They head on the road to take on the Rice Lake Warriors, going from first place in the conference to last place in the conference, undefeated in the conference to yet to win a game in the conference. Final score here, it's Hudson 3 and Memorial 1. Well, that'll do it for our coverage of Old Abe boys hockey tonight. So on behalf of everybody that made this broadcast possible, I'm Derek Montesano reminding you it's always a great day to be an Old Abe.